Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a tactical open-world shooter from CI Games. The game runs on the CryEngine, Crytek's proprietary set of framework and tools which has powered some of the best-looking games in the past. However, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a different story altogether. Though the game utilizes some of CryEngine's complex parameters such as dynamic lighting and detailed screen space reflections, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 looks quite last-gen in some places. This is perhaps down to the game's lower resolution textures and some shoddy NPC animations. However, this isn't to say that Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a bad-looking game, but it's not a title that is pushing the hardware it's running on, nor the CryEngine. We recently got our hands on the PC and PS4 Pro versions of Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, so we decided to compare how the two stack up against each other. Note that we're using a pretty high-end PC, which includes a GTX 1080 Ti, 16GB of DDR4 memory, and a Ryzen 7 1700 processor. So in a way, we have ensured that the game faces no bottlenecks at all and is running at its highest possible graphical setting at 1080p. The PC version of Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 doesn't feature a ton of graphical settings. You can play around with parameters such as in-game effects, particles, object detail, physics, post-processing, shader quality, shading, and shadow quality. However, the game does not come with any options for anti-aliasing, a glaring omission if you're looking to try out different AA options, although the game is possibly using SMAA by default. So how does the PC build compare against the PS4 Pro version? To begin with, the PC version allows the game to run at well above 60 frames per second. Being a first-person shooter, many players would prefer to play the game at this frame rate, and should you have the hardware, you shouldn't face any problems achieving the same. On the other hand, the PS4 Pro version is quite bare bones. The game has no specific pro mode, no resolution benefit, and neither a performance mode for better frame rates. Although we haven't tried this game out on the PS4, we doubt the Pro features any significant improvements in other graphical assets over the PS4. In short, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is a disappointing affair on the PS4 Pro. The game simply runs at 1080p and 30 frames per second with settings seemingly equivalent to the PC's high setting. The PC version, as expected, benefits from improved object detail, better draw distance, and faster asset streaming, especially on those objects which are far from the player's view. Shadow quality and screen space reflections are also higher on the PC, so overall PC is the best place to play Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Also, it's impossible to conclude this technical review without mentioning the game's loading times. It's atrocious. Sitting 5 minutes as the next level loads is unacceptable in this generation. Granted, there is a fantastic musical score going on in the background where the loading kicks in, but waiting so many minutes doing absolutely nothing is disappointing. On the PC version, the wait is a bit less compared to the PS4 Pro, but again, not so less that it becomes an acceptable feature. That about wraps it up. We'll leave you with some more comparison footage. If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Show me what you got. Good job, brother.
Anytime.
Yeah.
All targets dead.
Confirmed. Exfiltrate the area.